Welcome to LUTV News InFocus, where we feature interesting topics on campus, in the community, and in the world of culture. I'm Jade Moreau. For the past few semesters, Lamar University Department of Communication and Media student Arthur Harmon has been a cornerstone at LUTV News. He has served as the technical director for LUTV News and a sports contributor for LUTV Sports Break and LUTV Sports Extra. During July 2020, Harmon contracted coronavirus and is now on the road to recovery. Arthur is here to talk about his experience with COVID-19 and give insight on how it has affected his life. Thank you for agreeing to speak with me, and I'm really glad to hear that you are doing so much better.
Thank you, Jade. I'm doing a lot better than when everything first started.
Yeah. So the coronavirus really ramped up at the end of March, and that was right in the middle of the school semester. Tell me how that initially impacted your semester at school.
It was definitely weird. It was definitely weird for everybody. And I just was like, oh no, this is really getting real. You know, it's in the world. I mean, now it's in pretty much everywhere in the world. And it was scary, but I can understand why they ended school first and things like that. But I was safe for class. I just kept it going. Tried to stay in contact with all my professors at all times if I had any questions. And all my professors pretty much worked with me with everything, and nobody really tried to make it too hard. So it wasn't too bad. I ended up making the dean's list. So everything was pretty good with that. It didn't really just throw me off course.
It really seems like you pulled through for the semester then. And even though you were able to go online for the rest of the semester, you were actually considered an essential worker and you had to keep working. So tell me about your experience being an essential worker.
I work at Sam's Club, and when the thing started, you know, as you know, like people with the toilet paper and paper towels and stuff like that. But at the same time, you got hundreds and hundreds of different customers coming in every day. You don't know who has who, but eventually they started making us wearing gloves. We had to wear gloves, and then we eventually had to wear masks. So I feel like they were stepping up and trying to protect us, protect all the associates at Sam's Club. So you did kind of feel a little safe, but at the same time, like I'm saying, you are around a bunch of different people every single day. So that was definitely on my mind, and me going to my granny house, and if I did not know if I had it or not, or those things. And it was definitely scary, but you try not to think too negative. You just try to stay positive the whole time. And, you know, just trying to stay positive. That was it.
There is a very broad spectrum as far as symptoms go for the virus. What made you consider getting tested in the first place?
Well, actually, it was Friday, July 3rd, and I was at work, and I had to woke up early that morning with a sore throat, but I thought it was just a morning sore throat and eventually go away. But as the day went on, it kind of stayed with me. But I wasn't too really worried. But when I got to work, as work progressed and time went by, I started feeling weirder. And I was just like, man, I didn't been sick, but I was like, nothing like how I'm feeling. And I thought I was hungry, so on my lunch, like how my stomach felt, I went to get something to eat, and I still was feeling that way. And then by the time 8 o'clock came, I really started feeling like kind of weak, like I was about to faint or something. So I signed up to go get tested the next day immediately. So I went and got tested, but the next day I felt even worse. So I was really kind of weak. I had a little cough, but not too bad. My throat was still sore and stuff like that. And I went and got tested. I couldn't return to work. If you get tested, you can't return to work. But I was just hoping that I was just going through something, just this kind of phase. I was running a fever. I had a fever as well, and I was just hoping that I was just going through some kind of little phase. And Monday, July 6th, is when I found out that I tested positive. And I can say that Sunday, actually, after the Saturday I got tested, Sunday, I felt normal. I felt normal. It was weird. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm good. But that morning I woke up, I felt bad. Like, immediately, and I checked my phone, and I had the results in. I found out I was positive. So that's what happened, my starting.
And you actually spent some time in the hospital. Tell me about that experience.
Yes, my first week of having a corona, I was just pretty much running a hot fever, sweating while I was asleep, and being weak, really. And then I lost my taste buds and I lost my smell. So eating food, I didn't have an appetite. And then I read, I think I kind of like jinxed myself reading that you get shortness of breath. I didn't have shortness of breath the first week, but I think I would say Saturday was the first time I kind of just really felt kind of weak and my breath was kind of go. And I was in the hospital then, but nothing was really wrong enough for them to keep me. And Sunday I was kind of feeling bad or whatever, and like my breathing was really short, but I was just hoping that it would stay at that. And I was cool with breathing on my own. But Monday morning I woke up, I could not breathe. Like it was hard to breathe. So I went to the hospital, was in the emergency room pretty much all day. I was in there. I got there like at 9, was in the emergency room till like 7. And they told me they were going to admit me around 5. And they found out that I had pneumonia. So that was what I guess was in my lungs and keeping me kind of from breathing. And that kept me, and it was pretty miserable in the hospital. Definitely. Like I was on oxygen. It was just a scary, scary feeling because I couldn't breathe on my own. I didn't really know what was going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to get better. I kept praying about it. I had a lot of good positive energy from friends, family, professors, and stuff like that. So that kept me going. And each day I was slowly but surely getting better, but it was just a scary process for me.
And, you know, we're supposed to be following the precautionary measures like the keeping 6 feet apart, staying home as much as possible, wearing a mask, washing your hands, all of that. Do you feel that you took the necessary protocols to keep you from getting sick, or were you following the necessary protocols and you still got sick?
I was following the necessary protocols. I even feel like I was overdoing it a little bit. Like I had when I'm at work, I have hand sanitizer hanging from my my belt loop, and I'm always like, anytime I just feel like I'm about to touch my face or something, I always put on hand sanitizer. I always wash my hands. I try to refrain from touching my face, but I mean, with the mask on, sometimes it comes up, goes down. But I was always washing my hands every day, using hand sanitizer, staying 6 feet away from people, not trying to be close to people at all. I still got it. It was, I don't want to say I got it from work. I don't know where exactly I got it from at all.
With, you know, hearing your experience, and you're going back to school this coming month, do you feel that you are ready to go back to school and be surrounded by people, or how do you feel about that?
It's definitely a fear. I'm having a fear of going back to work, actually. I haven't been around people really to say for going on with the 4th week. I haven't been around people, say to speak, like, so I've had those thoughts, and going to school especially, I've been just scared to kind of be around people because that's not something I want to go through ever again. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. I wouldn't. I was always serious about it. And it's just, now that I done had it, I really don't want to be around people. I know that sounds kind of bad to say, but going through it, that's something I don't ever want to experience. And now I would say 95% better than what I was, or 95% back in full health, I would say, in full strength. Because when I got to the hospital, I didn't have strength at all. I was pretty much weak. Like, I really couldn't walk as good, raise my arms, all that. Like, I was just weak. So that's not something I want to go through at all, but this is my last semester, so I want to get it out the way as well. So it's one of those things where I'm kind of like 50-50. So I just don't, I really don't want to go around people, but I have to.
Yeah, and there's so much unknown, and it almost doesn't feel real if you haven't had it. Now that you've had it coming from someone firsthand, what is some advice you can give for the rest of us?
I would say continue to stay safe. Be careful, because a lot of people, I believe, don't think it's real at all. I had one of my friends, my close friends, he had it as well. And we actually, like the week before, we were just like, well, he was saying that he didn't believe as much that it was real. I was like, man, I think it's real, and some people are just really going through it. And then we both ended up catching it. So I just would tell people to remain like, just stay different from people. Stop going to these clubs, these gatherings. Don't, because it's serious. I'm a real dude. I caught this stuff. My grandmother caught this stuff. My mom caught this stuff. So it hasn't just hit me and everybody looked at me. I've been scared for my granny, my mom, and my friends. Him and his girlfriend caught it. His fiance caught it, excuse me. And it's just, I would tell people to take it serious because it affected each one of us differently. And for me and my grandmother was in the hospital. We were actually roommates, kind of. I was in one room and she was in the room next to me. Mm-hmm. So it's real. Like, I don't know what people watching the news and they're just like not believing it, but it's real. Like, it is real. Like, don't take it as a joke. Stop going to the club. Stop going. Like, that stuff can wait right now. The world isn't normal right now. Don't play with it, like, because it's real.
Well, thank you for taking the time to speak to me and share your experience. Like I said, I'm glad to hear that you're better. I'm sure that was a very scary experience for you, especially with so much unknown about the virus as it is. And thank you for watching LUTV News in Focus. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.